Welcome back to Way of Wrestling, and I am your host, Vasil Big Ox Uchiha Glass, and this is once again another stellar Wrestlemania that we have experienced here. I think it was a really good Wrestlemania, probably one of the best Wrestlemanias of all time. So without further ado, we're going to get into our review of the such. We have had so many things to talk about. I'm actually going to change my position here just so it's easier for me to kind of just feel normal. And there we go. Okay, so y'all going to see my background. No, I don't care. And we're live right now, and here we go. So I'm not going to go any particular order. I'm just going to go by what I feel is great to talk about. I'm going to just glance over some points and what have you, and we'll go from there. Okay, so first off, first point is that I have to talk about first. Roman Reigns is now your new WWE champion, and the crowd hates it. Okay, I'm not particular hate him or love him. I don't care too much for Roman Reigns. I don't particularly dislike him either. I take or leave Roman Reigns. I think that's as good as it's going to get with my ideas of who Roman Reigns is. I'm not particularly disliking them, and yeah, that's all I can say about him. I think he's a nice guy. It seems like, but I think they're trying to John Cena the guy, and that's not cool to me. I think that's going to suck. Feel free, by the way, as you come in, feel free to just leave a message if you want to chat and tell me what you think about what's going on. I lost a viewer. But if you want to just leave a comment below and let me know about what you think about today's WrestleMania, you can go right ahead. Welcome to Way of Wrestling. I thank you for coming in, viewers, and I thank you for stopping by and watching what's going on and hearing what I have to say today about this particular topic. Once again, you can leave in the group chat. I am paying attention. I may not go to every single person's words, but I will tell you about what I think about this card and how it went. First off, The Rock, you cannot help but laugh about the things he said from the Cracker Barrel reference. That was awesome. That was awesome. We got Stone Cold Steve Austin in today. That was awesome. I was really happy to see Stone Cold back in the WWE ring after so long. And seeing as he said he would never do anything wrestling wise. First, I have to admit he's gotten fat. He has gotten really fat. I mean, fatter than I would have ever thought Stone Cold could get. I mean, he's really sitting on that beer, and he's up there in size. I mean, let's be real. And but he can still do his thing. He's still stepping mud holes and walking them dry, which is awesome. Along with it, I did like the HBK return also in that same moment. The League of Nations had won the. I'll get to all that in a second, but HBK returns. Is a couple of things that we have to talk about. So, New Day versus the League of Nations. Let's just start there. No way, Barrett, until basically the end. It was a boring match, in my opinion. I just refer to one of those things as Sunday Night Raw. That's just the way I look at it. I just paid $60 to watch Raw. That's what type of match that was. That was not good. They could have put that on the kickoff show, and I would have been absolutely, positively okay with that because it was just that boring of a match. It was so boring that they had nothing else to do, and when the League of Nations won, it meant nothing because there was no belts exchanged. There was no reason for it. Honestly, I think this was just a really, really boring match. And then here comes Barrett with a Monday Night promo telling, but it was a good way to work in what will come next, which is HBK, which, by the way, looking great. Okay, let's be real. For you to be away from wrestling, I thought he was going to come back fat HBK. No, he actually went and worked out and got himself in great shape. And he's in wrestling shape for a guy who hasn't wrestled in what, 5, 6 years. So great shape. Proud of his progress. Good job getting back in shape, HBK. Stone Cold, Mick Foley comes out then behind him. And when I see Mick Foley in the Cactus Jack shirt, I'm not going to lie. I was excited because I'm a Cactus Jack fan and I was ready for the bang bang. That's just me. That's how I like things. So, yeah. And the last one, of course, you got Stone Cold Steve Austin. Was back inside of a WWE ring, and I'm not gonna lie, I flipped out. I completely flipped out. I mean, I put a whole DMX into it. You know, I was surprised by seeing Stone Cold Steve Austin in the ring. But I will say this. Michael Cole trying to do a JR impression was the worst of ever. I think he should have just been himself. He's who he is. I mean, he's Michael Cole. I don't know. He's never been my favorite commentator, but he's not the worst of the worst. Yeah, so that's what I think about that. But in essence, it was still really awesome to see those guys back in the WWE ring. It was fun to see Mick Foley pull out Sacco. I think it was really a good moment and a good pop for Elijah Woods because he got stunnered. Whenever you get stunnered by Stone Cold, that's a nice way of Stone Cold saying, I like this guy. You know, I even like the fact that they even got Stone Cold to dance. I love that he danced, and as he was about to dance, he stuns, my dude, man. That's just the best way to do it. I thought that was awesome. Um, Another cool moment in there was the Sweet Chin music by HBK. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. By them coming out together, I didn't know who to be more excited about. Honestly, Stone Cold stole that moment. Okay, I'm an HBK fan to the day I die. But when I saw the grass break at a WrestleMania, and I wasn't the only one. You could say honestly, definitively, that was the biggest pop of the night. Okay, outside of any wrestling match, that was the biggest pop of the night. And I mean, it was awe-inspiring things happened there. And yeah, you gotta admit that was a really awesome moment for Stone Cold Steve Austin. And yeah, that I will hope they go back into that again. So give me 1 second. Okay, and the next thing on our list is Brock Lesnar versus Dean Ambrose. Now, I already knew how this was going to go. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be real candid with you. I knew how this was going to go. It was no way in human. I mean, even in the human mind, you would never believe that he would have had the ability to beat a Brock Lesnar. Okay, Dean Ambrose. I think they just like watching him get beat up. Okay, and that can be cool. And that could be awesome, but I mean, really, I think that's all he's there for is just to get beat down. Um, what do you think in the live chat? I see one viewer on. If you can just give me some feedback and what you think about it. I thought it was really kind of one of those things where he could have done better. You know, I think the fight could have been more believable. I didn't think it was that believable in my opinion. But taking let's see, was it 13 suplexes? Oh my gosh. How many more did he have to take? I mean, I thought he was going to take 14 personally. He could have took 100, honestly, because it was just that go. Okay, I'm back. And I don't know if y'all saw me or not, but I am back. But yeah, it was 13 suplexes. Of course, who else was going to win that match but Brock Lesnar? I don't think anybody else would have had a chance to do it. I don't think anybody else would have done a good job. I think this was a good way for Dean Ambrose to seem cool. Lost the viewer, that's okay. Um, I think this was a good way for Dean Ambrose to seem like he was doing something awesome, but honestly, he wasn't. It was kind of one of those moments where I had to just say, okay, well, it wasn't that bad. I mean, it wasn't a great match. It was a hardcore match without a title. I think if there was a title involved, a legitimate title involved, I think it would have been awesome. But it really didn't mean anything for him to lose. Dean Ambrose didn't need this match, and honestly, neither did Brock Lesnar. That's the way I see it. Okay, so the next one is we can talk about is the Divas. Divas. I'm not going to talk about the revisiting the Hall of Fame. We all saw what happened. We all know Sting retired, and it was good to see. They gave him a nice send off. Awesome, beautiful, great. But the Divas, and this time I'm going to say it's about time we finally got a great Diva match. I mean, a really good Divas match where I didn't feel as if I could just get up and go get popcorn or water because this match really did have me invested. I even like the fact that Snoop Dogg like walked down the ball, so I like that idea. I think that was really cool, seeing as that is her cousin, and he had a chance to just, WWE loves Snoop Dogg. I mean, let's just be real. Between his bodyguard and now his cousin, it's just good to see that there's someone that actually just likes Snoop Dogg like that. He's really helped the WWE with talent. Um, I like the fact that she paid homage to um, Eddie Guerrero by wearing Sasha Banks, that is, by wearing his clothing in homage to him because of how it was for her, which was awesome. Because she saw him win his championship, and she knew from that moment that she wanted to be a WWE superstar. And I mean, I guess when you think about anybody that inspires you to become something, you want to pay homage to them. That's awesome. So, Ric Flair. Charlotte. I'm sorry, Ric Flair. Charlotte. Whoever you want to say won this match. Honestly, I believe Ric Flair won the match. Living vicariously through your kid is just what parents usually do. So I'm not going to hate him too much for that. But I will say this. Um, I don't really like Ric Flair intervening in a female's match, especially one that's actually legitimately good. I just don't see why he needs to be there doing that. That just seems kind of sloppy in my opinion. But to each his own. It was an okay match at first, but it really picked up in the end. And I mean, high flying, that moonsault off the top from Charlotte was awesome. I thought that was a beautiful moonsault. I mean, she really got elevation on it. And it almost, I mean, it was 5 seconds from a shooting star press. That's just how much elevation and much rotation she got on it. And by her being such a tall young woman, that being able to pull off that move was awesome. Was really cool. It really, really was. Snoop Dogg was awesome, like I said, to start things off of. And now after 10 years, we finally have once again the best match in 10 years, I would say, in the best in 10 years. And it's finally we have a moment where we don't have to worry about whether or not we have divas or we have wrestling women. And I think that's legitimately why they changed it out, because now you don't have Bellas to worry about. You don't have these girls who may or may not have the talent to hold a wrestling match, what I call intermission women, wrestling, where you have women who were not that good at wrestling. And they just, I'm not going to lie. I used to really hate a Bella's wrestling match. Those things were horrible. All of them. All of them. I never liked Nikki Bella. No. Brie Bella, no. Paige, okay, maybe. AJ Lee and Paige, you had a little spark between those two, but the rest, they're just shamefully horrible. Just really, really bad. So I don't want to ever go through that again. Yeah. I think Shane, let's see. So we know that the WWE Women's Champion is now Charlotte, once again run by Ric Flair. So you can just say Flair won it. That was Flair's Women's Champion. That was his first Women's Championship. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah, it's awesome. Really awesome. Hell in a Cell. Shane, I think Shane's dead. I'm just gonna say that now. Okay, when Mick Foley went off the top of the cell when I was a kid, um, he's a lot bigger, not just in size and height. He's a lot bigger, and the weight differential between him and the Undertaker and him falling off of stuff was no big deal because he had done it before. But when Shane took that fall, I mean, I'm not going to lie, that looked horrible. I mean, it looked painful. I mean, downright painful. It was like I had never seen anything like that before in my life. And I hope I never see anything like that again. It was just that painful to watch. And of course, we knew who was going to win between Undertaker and Shane. That was going to be the Undertaker. I had that pegged out long before. I think in my prediction, I think that's exactly who I had linked as, and I don't anymore. So it's all good, Let's see. Okay, the match itself, I will say this: it was okay. It was not the best Hell in a Cell match I've ever seen. Byron Saxon tried to make it sound like it was. JBL may have tried to allude to it because those are his boss, and why not make the boss sound like a BA, right? But no, that was not the best Hell in a Cell match I've ever seen. Personally, Undertaker versus Edge was one of the best ones I've ever seen. Him and Brock Lesnar this past year was one of the best I've ever seen. Triple H versus Mick Foley was one of the best I've ever seen. But that one was not one of the best I've ever seen. So, I mean, to each his own again. If that's what you like, awesome. So, yeah, so of course Undertaker won, and that's it. The next thing on our list is the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. How can I say? Shaq the Diesel came in. My dude. Okay. I don't care. Nobody's here to see it anyway. So, bang. Okay. I just love Diamond Dallas Page. That is my dude. I'm so glad that he was there. Finally got to see him back in the ring. And he looks great, by the way, for a guy who hasn't wrestled in God knows how long. He looks great, and he was able to do some impressive moves. He also looked a little tired and winded. That's what happens when you're tired. Sorry, people. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna say this now. I don't know who I hate more, Michael Cole or Byron Saxton. Both annoy me, but I think Byron Saxton is starting to annoy me just a little bit more than Michael Cole. Cause see, at least with Michael Cole, I've had to listen to Michael Cole for almost 20 years now. So I mean, it doesn't mean nothing to me that Michael Cole is up there. But I'm gonna be honest, there's no one that really annoys me more than Byron, whatever his name, Saxon, and him and Michael Cole together are like a unified stupidity that I just wish would go away. I mean, JBL is JBL. He's always been JBL. He will always be JBL. And I like the fact that they were the three that were on there, and there was no King, and there was no the SmackDown crew wasn't there for this one. They kept it really tight on the commentary. It wasn't that good though. I think the commentary was a little kind of bland. It was spots where they just was like, yeah, all right, he's the guy. Yep, he's the man, manly man, man. He is the man. Yeah. I mean, this is stuff they were doing. It didn't sound right. It didn't sound fun. It wasn't, something that I could really get into. JR kept me entertained back in the day. Michael Cole kept me somewhat entertained, especially when Taz was around. But now it's like nails on a chalkboard. It's really bad. It's not good commentary. The guy from SmackDown, he's starting to really get to me. I'm starting to really like that guy. I don't know his name. If anybody knows his name, please let me know in the comment section. If you know what his name is, but I didn't like him too much. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't. Let's see. I'm gonna go to another one, and I'm going in order at this point. I don't care. John Cena, Rock and his flamethrower versus the family, the White family. Yeah, that's about right. That's about all. Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything else. John Cena return. No, that was about it. Now, let me say this before I get into the main event. And I'm keeping this short on purpose because there's nobody in the room, and basically at this time, I'm just going to be honest. I don't like philosophy when I'm trying to watch something cool. Okay, Stephanie McMahon and Triple H with this whole dark side of the force thing that they're doing, and then on top of it, you got the demon look from Triple H, and she got the skull face like mask, like she's the Dark Queen or the Queen of Demons. I don't know what she was going for. But the thing that really grinds my gears is when you insult your crowd and tell them that they're looking for hope and all of these things, and hope isn't there, and your lives are small, and all these things. The hypocrisy of her philosophy is astounding because of the fact that these are people who are paying hundreds of dollars to come see you at WrestleMania, not for so much Roman Reigns, but more so for the excitement of WrestleMania. And for that, in fact, the WWE, and to continue to insult the crowds and to I just don't see it. It's not working for me. And her philosophy makes no sense. If you're going to at least spew philosophy, at least make your philosophy understandable. But by you being a CFO and you talking about we are your leaders, we are the ones that keep you in check and in line and all these things, all that Illuminati type BS. I mean, really, that's what it is. And to tell you the truth, it's not making any sense to me. I think it's really mundane, and it's playing itself out for me at least. I can't speak for nobody else. I really don't like the persona. It's just going along with this whole antichrist thing that everybody's on right now. It's cool to be anti establishment and everything, but when you are the establishment and now you're trying to make yourself the greater power, and I understand they try to demonize themselves so that you can make Roman Reigns into this Christ-like figure and this Superman type figure, and they're Doomsday while he's Superman, and I get that. But it really just started to just annoy me. I don't care about philosophy. Your philosophy makes no sense. It's very, very silly, to say the least. And yes, this is me talking about WrestleMania, it's not talking about anything deep. And honestly, you just made something that's not that deep more that deep. And then the second thing that I didn't like about it was the costume that she had on was so 90s gimmick. Her hair was so weaved out. I mean, I ain't never seen a white girl with that much weave in my life. I'm gonna be honest. Man, that girl had a lot of weave. I did not know white girls could wear that much weave, but she wore a lot. And I mean, it was really just a lot of weave in her hair. This is Stephanie McMahon. Yes, you are at Way of Wrestling. We are talking about Wrestlemania 32 and Stone Cold Steve Austin coming back and all these cool things happening. But I'm at the point now where I'm talking about Roman Reigns, you know, and Triple H for the WWE Championship, and I'm at the place right now where I'm talking about Stephanie McMahon and all of her philosophical BS that I just was not into. I don't see why you need it in the wrestling ring. I didn't like the wardrobes or anything like that. I thought that wasn't cool. I mean, if you like it, to each his own. I'm not going to speak against it. If you don't like it, that's fine. But I personally was like, no, that's not cool. It just seems like they were trying to be gimmicky to the point of corniness. And I mean 90s. I mean, she started to sound like Rita Repulsa at one point. I couldn't tell if I was watching the Power Rangers or if I was watching WrestleMania 32. It was just really, really bad. And then, like, throughout the match, I will say she was funny. She had really great, funny moments. When you talk about, like, her asking Roman, yeah, Roman, you want to quit? Yeah, you want to forfeit, don't you, Roman? You want to give up, don't you? I thought that was awesome. I thought that was hilarious. I did like at what you think about the situation, and my viewer is gone. But I mean, really thinking about how it translate to me, it just didn't seem like the match was and the guy. Why I don't know why WWE always wants to force feed a hero. It just that he was not a good hero person. This being Roman Reigns, he's not a good hero. Um, he's actually kind of bad as a hero, in my opinion. I don't like Roman Reigns. I don't like Roman Reigns as a good guy. I don't like him as a bad guy. I don't care for Roman Reigns. I don't care if he's not there. That's the funny thing about Roman Reigns. You can take Roman Reigns and you can put anybody else's face on what they're trying to do. You can use Dean Ambrose. You can use Zack Ryder for that matter. Anybody in the WWE can be what Roman Reigns is right now, because they're trying to create a culture of you loving Roman Reigns, whether you want to or not. And that's not cool, because see, is not showing whether or not it's not okay. I put it like this: if you don't like a show and fans stop tuning into the show, yeah, I mean, this is different because this is wrestling. But if your fans stop tuning into the show because, let's say, you're watching the 100 and Clark dies 1,000 times, okay, and people just say, okay, I'm tired of watching Clark die, and they do away with the show. They're doing away with the show because they're not getting the ratings. This guy is the guy that nobody likes. Obviously, none of the fans want a cookie cutter champion. They want something a little bit different. They don't want another John Cena Superman. They want something better and bigger and something a little bit more believable. Roman Reigns is not the most believable guy as a champion for the everyday guy. And I think the fact that you have, once again, you're insulting your audience, and not only insulting them, but you're insulting them at a WrestleMania. That's after they spend hundreds of dollars to come see you. You know, that's just kind of interesting to me. But that's the way I see it. I would like to thank all those who came down today to Way of Wrestling and stayed for a little while and left out and came back in. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and tell me what I can do better to make this situation better, to better my videos, because I know I stuttered and flubbered over myself a little bit. But if y'all can tell me how you liked it, or if you how did you like WrestleMania 32? For me, I would say, believe it or not a bad WrestleMania. I would make it with all of the nuances and everything from on a scale to 1 to 5. I would say about a 4.5 to be exact. I think a 4.5 would do. I don't think it was a full 5, but it was definitely a 4.5 stars. That means it was really good, and I really enjoyed myself watching it, and I will be watching again next year. Um, Thank you for coming down the way of wrestling. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. And if you like what you see, please leave a message letting me know what you think. And check you out later, guys. Bye.